Hello, hello. Welcome back to Barefaced and Becoming. I am so happy that you're here. So, last episode, we went really on a deep dive, and it was very vulnerable and very uncomfortable for me. Listening back to the episode, I was like, oh my God. So, I'm craving something a little bit lighter today, if that's okay with you. We are going to be doing a 2025 wrapped wellness edition. So this is going to be a reflection on what supported me this year and what didn't. I want this episode to feel more light and reflective, more of a end of year check-in rather than a set of rules. So I'm going to start with my outs because we are leaving these in the past. Some of these are light, some of these are a little bit more deep and more mindset. This is just what needs to go. And then we'll go ahead and go into the ins and what we're calling in, what we want to continue, what we learned from 2025 that we want to take into 2026 that serve us. Number one on the list is something very light, is snoozing my alarm. This is such a bad habit that I have. Ironically, this is something I did awfully today. Just for reference, today is January 12th. I had a Pilates class this morning scheduled for 8:30. I set my alarm for 7:30. I was like, okay, just like 15 more minutes. I'm exhausted, just 15, right? But I keep forgetting to tell my Alexa to set a timer for 15 minutes. This is like literally my intentions, not snoozing my alarm, are screaming at me right now because this is something that's been happening just in the past like week. So I need to sit down with all of this myself and really put it in the calendar and just make it happen because I didn't wake up until 8 and this place is 20 minutes away. So I saw the time and I jumped out of bed so fast. I was in shambles. I was so out of it. I got to Pilates and I was so exhausted. My eyes were still like waking up. Like, you know that feeling when you're just so exhausted that your eyes just feel so dry? I hate that feeling. But anyways, we did it. It needs to go. I can't with the snoozing the alarm. It's such a bad habit. It's not something that I want to continue to do. The structure that I create for myself, I want to respect. So no more snoozing the alarm. Number 2 is feeling guilty when I'm prioritizing my schedule, my work, my boundaries. This is something that I have a hard time with, I want to say, with other people, but also with myself because of what I feel other people are interpreting me as. So this is the first year that I've really felt like an entrepreneur. I just have never really pictured myself as an entrepreneur. So now that it's sitting with me, I don't know, it's just hard to respect my schedule. I'm trying to make my bed, like in bed, knocked out by 10. And on the weekends, I work on Saturdays. My days off are Sunday, Mondays. That's kind of difficult with my friends because on Fridays, if they're doing something, Fridays are work day for me. So I don't know. It's just been a weird thing just for myself of like, this is what you have to respect. You have to respect your sleep. You have to respect, the goals that you're making for yourself and just prioritizing what's important to you right now. And thank God I have the best friends and we've been friends for so long. So I don't really think this is something they've put on me, at least anymore. I think maybe in the beginning it was kind of confusing because obviously in college we all lived practically together. Like we were together every single day. And I love that I had that experience and I lived that out to the fullest. Sometimes I'm like, I just wish I didn't care. And I was just like so free spirited and that's part of your youth, right? So it's normal to miss it, to just, have so little that you had to worry about. But obviously I have much more responsibilities now. I have much bigger goals. So just being able to not like feel guilty when I'm missing out on things, or I don't know, I feel like sometimes I make myself feel like, oh, you're kind of lame. Like when you're staying in, like, cause sometimes on a Saturday night, technically it's my Friday, but I'm exhausted and I just want to get extra sleep instead of going out. So I don't know. I guess I just have to accept that about myself, that my vibe is an early dinner with my friends or a sleepover or something like that. And I like obviously planning it. I like it to be on the calendar. And I don't know, I guess that's just something that I have been having a hard time with myself. So leaving behind feeling guilty when I'm just prioritizing myself and my needs and my desires. number 3 is a really rough one. Number 3 is my empathy for others being stronger than my boundaries, meaning I want my boundaries to be stronger than my empathy. This is such a hard one for me. I am such an empathetic person. I am such a compassionate person. And I think sometimes it gets a little bit messy that I care too much and it's at the expense of my own space and my own respect. I think it's about learning that caring deeply doesn't always mean saying yes to everything and that it's okay to protect my energy. I also feel like as an empathetic person, I've had and carried this weight for so long, especially with the people that I love the most, that I don't want any of them to suffer. And if there's anything that I can do to help them, I want to do that, but not at the expense of myself. But it's also this weird thing of, well, first of all, I'm so proud of myself for even being able to like get there and understand that, because it's something I've never really thought about. And the other part of this is I carry the weight of others' feelings. So when something is going on and they're suffering, I put myself in a position to do anything that I can do to take that weight off of them. And that is such a huge weight to feel like I notice I do this thing when I'm podcasting is I say, when I'm talking about myself, I say you. Anyways, I feel like I need to change the way that they feel, change their suffering. And that is not my responsibility. And that is almost toxic because I cannot change, even though it's coming from a beautiful, loving, amazing place. And I'm so grateful to be an empathetic person. I love that about myself. I really do. But that being at the place where, oh, I feel like I need to change how anyone's feeling, their state of being, it's not my weight to carry and it's too much. And like I said, yeah, it's just not my responsibility. So that is something that I need to work on. It's something that I haven't really put into perspective until probably last year and as of recently. So that will be something that I will be working on and something that I want to leave out. That was a big one for me. I felt that one in my heart. Next one is not so deep, but it is, I want to leave out eating out during the week. I want to be a meal prep girly during the week, and I am a great cook. I really am. If I do say so myself, I like the meals I make. I think they're great. I know how to make good food healthy and taste good. So I really want to work on being structured. You know, I know that stuff happens and, you know, it's not going to be perfect, of course, but at least like having the intention, like putting the time in my calendar to on Mondays, an hour or two just to meal prep lunch. And I'm a very simple gal. I like to eat the same thing every single day. I don't mind. It's very hard for me to get sick of foods. So this one's pretty easy for me because I'll just make one meal prep for the whole week. I'm about to do that right now. Just meal prep a healthy spaghetti with beef, take my arugula to work, and I can make the salad at work. And I literally will eat that for 5 days straight and I don't mind it at all. So I feel like it's not that unreasonable for me to do. Also, this kind of goes together is having sweet treats during the week. If you listen to the last episode, you know that one of my addictions is sugar. And I want to integrate, you know, I do have these cravings, but being able to have healthy replacements during the week. And then on my days off, I can go out for ice cream or whatever and not feel guilty about it. But my thing has been, okay, well, I'm eating cookies or candy throughout the week. And then I'm also going out and getting like, oh, it's the weekend. I want to indulge in having like bigger, worse dessert on the weekends. And it needs more balance. So I want to make more sweet treats. I made healthy Reese's Bites the other day with dark chocolate. I sweetened it with agave and then peanut butter in the middle with some Celtic sea salt. which they were really good. I'm not a big dark chocolate girl, and the ones I got are like very healthy. So it was a little bit too bitter for me. So I need to work on that. But things like that, things with like dates, those dates, little Snicker bars, I feel like would be great. And maybe just trying something with cacao. Yeah, just, experimenting more in the kitchen and keeping it on rotation and keeping it consistent. Consistency is a big word for me for this year. And then the last one is relying on outside factors to cope. So being able to find a healthier replacement. So this could be alcohol, this could be smoking, this could be scrolling on social media. This could be popping my pimples, which is so random, but I find myself when I'm very stressed out or like feel like I don't have control, I go at it on my face. That's another one of my outs is, not popping my pimples because I'm an esthetician and that is a rule that I tell my patients. So I need to respect it myself. Yeah, no more outside factors to cope, being okay with sitting with uncomfortable feelings, maybe journaling instead to cope, or finding something to do with my hands, like cooking. And yeah, just not relying on anything outside. Or I guess that is an outside factor, right? If I'm cooking or journaling, but I guess having healthier ways to cope. So those are all my outs. We are leaving them in the past. I'm doing 5 outs, 5 ins. So let's go to my ins for 2025. Number 1 is probably the most important one, syncing with my cycle and just listening to my body more in general. This is a tough one for me though, because I struggle with having balance in this. Like, for example, just now, I'm currently recording this at almost 9 p.m. and I was so exhausted today. I recently got a membership at a gym. I'm going to start weightlifting again, which I'm super psyched about. And it really took a toll on me today. I was exhausted to the max. And obviously, as I told you, I rolled out of bed straight to Pilates because I snoozed my alarm. So I'm sure that didn't help and just added to me feeling even more exhausted. So I was out all day. I had things to do, didn't get home until like 4:35. I was crashing at like 1 p.m. So I really needed a nap. I am a great napper. I love a nap. I will advocate for naps forever and ever and ever. And so I'm like, okay, I just need an hour and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to do my podcast. I need to stick to my structure, to stick to my discipline and follow what I say I'm going to do for this. So I take a nap. I wake up in an hour and I'm like, oh, but my body's just still in bed, obviously. Oh, my body's just so tired. Like, should I just keep sleeping? Like, I was sick last week, and which I'm also behind schedule because I was sick last week, and I'm still making this excuse in the moment. My body's so tired because I was sick last week. Like, maybe I should just keep sleeping and I can get 12 hours of sleep and I'll wake up at 6 tomorrow. And then I'll record both the podcasts and I'll make the time. I probably have the time. I have to look at my schedule. I'll probably have the time. My body needs a lot of sleep. Just like both sides can be so extreme. Like, you can be so extreme about letting yourself or letting myself. I can be very extreme about letting myself rest. Like, you could take it easier on yourself, don't worry. And then it's the opposite end where I'm like, go, 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 and to the point of burnout. So I'm really, really working on finding this balance right now, but I'm very proud of myself. I got up, I did my outline, I'm here, I'm recording, I'm gonna try, I say try, I need to stop saying try. I'm gonna meal prep after because I want to get ready for the week. I'm trying to listen to all of the things that I'm putting. Can you see? I'm really trying. I'm still struggling with it. Clearly, this is a hard one to balance for me. And also, I think for me, I just really love sleep. And so it's really hard for me. Obviously, that's why the snoozing my alarm comes into. Yeah, just trying to find the balance of what it means to listen to my body and how to really listen to it without any of the excuses. And also syncing with my cycle, my menstrual cycle. If you haven't listened to any of the other episodes, I do have PMDD. It is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It practically just means that I have PMS on steroids. My brain is more sensitive to the fluctuations in hormones from just being on a cycle. If you don't know, you have 4 phases of your menstrual cycle. So they just really affect me, and I can get very, very depressed very easily. And it could be really difficult for me just to do simple tasks at certain times. So this is something that really is a priority for me, because the PMDD, like I said, is a disorder. So if I'm managing it and listening to my body and syncing with my cycle, eating for my cycle and sleeping for my cycle, we can do a whole episode on that because it's so important. So I just got diagnosed with it this past year in 2025. So having that, I guess, title of it really helped me to know how it affected me. Of course, it gave me some clarity, but also knowing that I do have to make it a priority, because I notice a huge difference in my life. So this is something that has to be at the top of my list. And I mean, just in general, listening to your body and what it craves and what it needs, for anybody, girl or boy, is so important. But multiply that by 10 because of my disorder and because I'm a woman. I feel like I've been really good about syncing with my cycle, and it has been something that improved my life. And I'm so proud to say that. And I want to continue to do that in this next year and the rest of my life, to be honest. Number 2 for my ins is having a workout routine. Decision fatigue is so real. And this has been something that has restricted me from being consistent and disciplined in the gym, or just moving my body in general. Because again, this kind of goes back to listening to my body and not fully knowing and being educated about my cycle. Is I have 4 days. I would pick the days that I wanted to work out, and I knew that I wanted to move my body. And then I would wake up and be like, well, what does my body need today? Right? And obviously I'm never going to want to do anything hard. So I'll be like, oh, I'll just do a walk today. Oh, I'll just do some light Pilates. And at the time of it, I'm never really going to want to do the harder thing. And so sometimes I would just make an excuse. Oh, well, my body's feeling really tired today, so I'm just going to stretch. And then the whole week would pass by and all I did was stretch on one day for 10 minutes. So this is something, it's so crazy that I was thinking about this and talking about this with Sydney today too, is that from the age of 16 to like 21, 22, I was consistent in the gym. And since then I have not been, because I moved to an apartment that didn't have a gym around. And that's when I started doing yoga and Pilates, but it wouldn't be consistent. It would be maybe once a week. And then I would do workouts like on YouTube or something, but not consistent. And then I moved to the apartment I live in now, and it has a gym, but it's super small. So I would do that once or twice, but not weekly, because I didn't have my workout routine. Sometimes I would go on a walk. Sometimes I would it was just kind of scattered. And it's been like that for maybe 2 or 3 years. So it's been a while since I've created I don't think I've ever really created a structured workout routine. During that time between 16 and 22, it was just in my routine to show up. And I was really committed and disciplined with that, and great at it. And I loved it. I hit a point, age of 22, where I got bored of lifting weights. So that's when I started playing with Pilates and yoga. And it served its purpose, obviously, because now I'm a yoga instructor. I hope and plan to be a Pilates instructor too. So it needed it. And honestly, I had such bad posture with weightlifting that I think my body also needed the break, and I needed to go to the yoga so that I can learn what good alignment is, so that I can benefit me 10 times more, and obviously not deteriorate my body, because my body was deteriorating. My spine was. So I needed to hit a wall with it. But I want to have the structure. I want to have the discipline, and I do not want to have the decision fatigue. So that is on my to-do list, is to create a structure for myself. Yeah. Number 2, having a workout routine. Number 3 is prioritizing my mornings. I think this one also really plays into syncing with my cycle, because just having PMDD, I think my mental health just gets so affected by my mornings. Obviously, depends on how well I'm taking care of myself, how much it affects. Like, for example, this morning, I obviously did not have a good morning routine, and I feel like it didn't affect my day so much, besides the fact that I was exhausted, but it didn't affect my attitude or, how good I felt about myself, I guess. Didn't affect my self-esteem, but I just feel when I prioritize my mornings, I can show up better in all aspects. It just sets my day up for success. I have dabbled with so much in my morning routine, wellness edition, pretty much what you see on TikToks, like all of the craziness. I have dabbled with keeping on an overnight mask, mouth tape. I now have a vibrating plate. I have an acupressure mat. I have a rebounder, bone broth, seed probiotic, which I love. And I love all of these things, but knowing what is a non-negotiable, because I don't have 2 hours in the morning. If I wish, right? If I could have 2 hours in the morning for my morning routine, it would be a dream. But I definitely think part of my morning routine needs to be my workout routine. And then I want time in the morning. I think my priorities are either rebound or the vibrating plate. I can choose one. My seed probiotic, symbiotic, is the best. I've been on that for 2-3 years. That has been the most consistent supplement in my routine. Have the bone broth on the way to the workout so that I have some protein in my system, and reading the Bible. I think those are my non-negotiables. Genuinely, besides the gym, which obviously would be like an hour, doing the rebounder or the vibrating plate, taking my supplements. Oh, matcha, obviously, in that routine. I would say 30 to 45 minutes. So it is super doable. I think another in would have to be waking up early. Like I said, I love my sleep, and that's really hard for me. So having a good sleep schedule and consistent sleep schedule, I've heard, is super important. Going to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time. And that's been something I've been really bad at. We need consistency, we need discipline, and that routine. Seems like a common factor of this is just having the routine of going to sleep early, waking up early, and having that workout routine. So very important for me, something I've been really bad at. 2025 was the year I worked out and moved my body the absolute least. The most time that I worked out my body in 2025 was when I was doing the yoga teacher training, because obviously I had to. Other than that, yeah, I think the least year out of my life, really. I'm feeling it in the inflammation in my body, how toned I am. I look at pictures and I'm like, damn, I looked good. And I'm not feeling like that. I'm not feeling like that right now. And that is not a fun feeling. So I want to get back into it. And prioritizing my mornings will help me get there. Number 4 is feeling confident as an entrepreneur. We kind of discussed this a little bit in the outs for feeling guilty when I'm prioritizing my schedule and work. Yeah, this is a really big thing that I need to be into my ins, is just feeling confident as an entrepreneur. As I said, I have never really, I don't know, as a child, it wasn't like a goal of mine to be an entrepreneur. It wasn't really something I pictured myself as or gave much thought to. So now that I am one, it has really been a struggle for me this last year of being disciplined in what I have to do and actually getting it done, and not letting anyone else's expectations of what I should be doing affect my confidence, because it really had. Just being able to set myself the goals that I want to achieve and have a structured way of getting there, an organized way of getting there, and being able to prioritize that and choosing to honor that. And I guess that is the biggest thing, is respecting it. This is what I want. This is a time in my life where I am able to prioritize my career. I'm 26 years old. I don't have any kids yet. And, I'm building a wellness brand, and it's something that fuels me. It's something I'm so passionate about. And I continue to have success little by little. So that has really helped my confidence with it, and just being able to lately have a workflow, not saying yes so easily. I feel like that's something I've worked on this past year, is not saying yes right away, and yet not saying yes so fast, actually thinking about it. It's a blessing, such a blessing, to be able to choose what my priorities are. But it's hard, I guess, not to go back on them, right? Because I'm the one creating them. I'm the one setting my priorities and my boundaries. So making that as if it was set in stone and respecting it. That is what I want to be in, being confident as an entrepreneur and choosing to honor that I'm on my entrepreneur era right now. And this is my priority. My career is my priority. And maybe that makes some people uncomfortable, maybe some people not have as much access to me as they would like, and that bothers them. Maybe that means having to miss out on some things that I wouldn't want to miss out on, whether that's with my friends or family or my dog that I miss so much. I miss having my dog. My parents have my dog because I've just been working so much. And thank the freaking Lord. Thank you, God, for being able to give her to my parents, and she's thriving there. Like, she's living her best life, and my parents love her, and I'm so grateful for that. And I feel guilty about it sometimes, but being confident in this is just temporary. I put these 2 years into building my business, and I can create more balance with it later. That's a weird thing, is because I'm really trying to prioritize balance, but I think with this specific topic, the only thing I'm not willing to give into for prioritizing myself as an entrepreneur is my sleep and my sleep schedule. But other than that, I think that it's okay for me to lean into that being a priority right now, and being okay with maybe things that I'll miss out on, or maybe ways that it makes people feel, which is weird for me. As I said, I'm very empathetic, but yeah, it's just something that I'm wanting to do for myself right now and for my life. And so feeling confident and sure and honoring it. Beautiful. And last but not least is exploring my hobbies and leaning into them. I think this is a great one, especially for the out of relying on outside factors to cope. Exploring hobbies is a great way for coping, a healthy way for coping. Hobbies that I love are watercolor. I recently got into needle pointing. I have not started or tried it, but I did order it and I have it and it's ready to go. I did punch needle, which was it was cool and I liked it, but I feel like I would like needle pointing more because it's more precise and easier. I mean, like I said, I haven't tried it, but I feel like it would, since there's holes to stitch through, I feel like it would be easier to make it come out better rather than punch needle. Since you're punching the needle through, I feel like, I don't know, I only did it once, but sometimes the holes would be too close or too far, or I wouldn't punch through enough. So then the thread would be too long. And if you don't know what I'm talking about at all, I'm really sorry that I'm going off of this, but I'm really wanting to lean into my grandma hobbies. I want to feel confident in that it's okay to lean into these hobbies. And I think that they're good for me to have hobbies that stimulate my brain, that get me, just doing something creative that has nothing to do with work. Yeah, I just love creating in general, and being able to create something that like I can use. Like, I'm going to needlepoint a keychain that's super cute. I punch needled my grandma a tote bag. I would like to do Legos more. What else? I recently got into volunteering at a barn, which I'm very excited for. Just doing something more selfless, and being around horses is amazing. And yeah, just exploring my grandma hobbies. I think there's nothing wrong with that, and leaning into them, I think, is amazing. And I want to make more time for it, and I want it to also be something that is a priority. I just feel like these ins just give me, like, they're giving my healthiest brain. That's what I think of. I'm prioritizing my career. I'm sleeping well. I'm working out good. I'm feeling confident. I'm listening to my body, and I'm exploring my hobbies on my off time. So those are my outs and my ins of 2025, what I learned, what I am leaving behind, and what I am calling in to carry on with me. I'm very excited. I feel so good about this year. I don't know why. I mean, 2025 in the Chinese calendar was Year of the Snake. So it's just like really shedding the old self. Let's see, I'm going to look it up. So the Year of the Snake in the Chinese calendar represents transformation, rebirth, and self-discovery. Symbolizes patience, planning, and subtle strategy. The shedding aspect of a snake is one of the most power symbolic parts, and it ties beautifully to your wellness reflection. This is what chat is saying. Snakes shed their skin to grow. It's a symbol of transformation and renewal. Shedding represents letting go of what no longer serves you. It's about release, rebirth, and stepping into a new version of yourself. Spiritually, it can symbolize leaving old habits behind, releasing emotional baggage, and outgrowing situations, beliefs, or even identities that no longer fit. So, this year in the Chinese calendar, which I believe starts in February, the year of the horse in the Chinese zodiac is often seen as the energy that follows shedding or transformation of the snake, a natural next chapter after releasing the old. So, it symbolizes new beginnings and taking action after preparation or transformation. Spiritually, it can mean stepping into your renewed self, moving forward with confidence and clarity, freedom from old patterns and constraints, and energetic momentum. Your growth becomes visible in actions. The outs would be old skin, things that didn't serve you, so overcommitment, guilt, etc. And then the ins would be your new skin, which is the year of the horse, which is this year, 2026, starting in February, which are habits and practices that support growth. Very much aligns with how I'm feeling and just the process that I've been going through. And I'm just really excited. I am wishing you guys all such a beautiful 2026. I hope that you are feeling clarity about your goals. If not, I hope this inspired you to do so. I don't know how I haven't said this yet, but I will be posting once a week every Tuesday morning. So tune in every Tuesday. I still can't believe that I'm doing this and I'm so excited for it. If you want to check me out on socials, my Instagram is Stephanie_Monge. Monge is MONGE. And all the links will be there. The link to my wellness page and anything else that you are looking for. I do post on YouTube sometimes. And yeah, if you want to stalk me, go ahead. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I will see you next week. I think next week will be a little bit more of a deeper conversation. So I'm preparing my mind for that. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I will talk to you next Tuesday.